So I'm going to try and make something that covers this here. I don't love it. I think it sort of jars with the look and the feel of the garden, the yard. So I'm going to try and just create something that can go around this, that can stand around it, similar to what I've done over there. That's covering the HVAC unit. So the fan over there. And I think I want to do something over here because it looks fairly untidy. I've got myself a couple of 2x4s. So there's one there, there's another one here. And I think what I'm going to need is just a few of these, which I just find really easy to work with. They're not uber long, you can go and pick them up yourself. They kind of fit in the car. So I think they're just the dogged picket fence panels that are fairly cheap from Home Depot. So a couple of those, I think there's 3 or 4 of those, a couple of 2x4s, and I think I'm going to set about trying to create something that at least lightly obscures the look of all of that over there. Cool, let's see where we get to. Okay, so I think the frame's probably going to look something like this. It's a bit higher at the back, a little bit shorter at the front to allow the water to spray over. Cool, let's get cracking. Okay, so this is how far I've got, which is basically almost there. So it's pretty easy. You can see that I've got like these studs in the corners and just sort of, they're the ends, but they're going to be on a side that isn't going to be seen, so that's fine. The only sides of this that you're really going to see is the front and this side. And so it's going to be against that wall over there, just like this, and actually that looks pretty tidy. The only thing I will do is a paint job, potentially add a little shelf in here because I have the area too. And then when this is in this position, but over here, the hose and everything can actually sit just on the shelf. So I'll consider putting a little shelf through the middle, and then the hose can actually sit on the shelf instead of sort of hang down on the floor and then you're pulling it out through the top. But that's kind of how far I've got so far. Paint job left, and then potentially a shelf in there, and then I'll go and put it up. So this is where it's gotten to so far. You can see I've put just a little sort of shelf there. This is the area that it's going to sit at. And then I decided that actually instead of the hose pulling all the way through from the ground all the way up, that I'd try and create a little shelf in here. So I'm going to put another one that goes right next to it here, so that actually the hose can just sit into this area. And what I did was basically I wanted to make sure that it didn't sit on top of this, so that visually you probably wouldn't see it, and that actually it just sit at the top, right at the top of the gaps here. So actually visually from the other side it wouldn't look too bad at all. Technically you shouldn't really see it from over here. Great. And what I used is a couple of these sort of L-shaped strong ties from Home Depot, which are like, yeah, I don't know, not a lot, $1 each. And I basically just got 4 of them to hold each of the shelves. I got the ones that are fairly large, just so that weight on the shelf it could hold. You could otherwise get the ones that come out only a little bit, but they probably wouldn't be sufficient to hold any weight on this. Not that the hose weighs a lot. And it's just a case of then taking this panel and getting this one in over here. So just sort of nudging it into the sides over here. Okay. And just sliding it down both ends. And what I actually want is for it to sit nice and flush against the other one, and then I'll screw it into place on the inside. And then once this is complete, I will get to a position where I sort of paint it to finish up. Move over a bit and down. This guy's looking pretty good in terms of positioning, nearly there. I'm just getting it lined up really, so that actually what we end up having is a very nice wide base on the inside. Just get this lined up too, as it goes in. And I think that actually looked pretty neat. So I'll get that screwed in, and then actually we have a nice sort of thick base. Looks good from the outside, and then on the inside we actually have a shelf that holds everything, the hose and stuff, so that it's not pulling all the way down from the ground. So I'll progress with that until I get into the next stage, which actually will be the point at which I decide to spray it and get it painted. And there we are, complete, painted, spray painted, which is way easier for things like this. There's a shelf, which once it's into position you'll see. I sort of ran out of paint a little bit, or I couldn't be bothered to fill the spray paint cans. There's bottom 2 bits, not entirely done, but I'm okay with that. I don't think they're going to be seen at all. The sides are really well done. So hopefully it's going to look pretty good when it's all up and running.